49 citizens, including eminent filmmakers, historians, doctors and writers, have written to the Prime Minister saying that they're concerned about growing intolerance in the country towards minorities, scheduled castes and towards dissent. They've also said that Jai Shri Ram as a slogan is now being used as a war cry. In the letter that's been signed among others by people like Mani Ratnam and Aparna Sen, it says that the lynchings of Muslims, scheduled castes and other minorities must be stopped immediately. You have criticized such lynchings in Parliament, Mr. Prime Minister, but that is not enough. What action has actually been taken against the perpetrators, they ask. Such offences should be declared non-bailable. Regrettably, Jai Shri Ram has become a provocative war cry that leads to law and order problems. My colleague Monadeepa Banerjee has more.
A letter by 49 prominent Indians, among them Aparna Sen, Ramchandra Guha, Shyam Benegal, Mani Ratnam and others, to Prime Minister Modi, asking him to intervene and ensure that lynching of Muslims, Dalits and other minorities are stopped immediately. In the letter they say, Jai Shri Ram has become a provocative war cry today. Many lynchings take place in its name. You must put a stop to the name of Ram being defiled in this manner. You have criticized such lynchings in Parliament, Mr. Prime Minister, but that is not enough. We strongly feel that such offences should be declared non-bailable.
Over time, in fact, within a very short time, Jai Shri Ram became a kind of provocative war cry, and lynching began to be done in its name. Muslims were forced to say Jai Shri Ram. I have no objection to Jai Shri Ram, but if you want to lynch them and say Jai Shri Ram, I have a problem.
The usual suspects, that's how some quarters are dismissing the letter. And Prabhat Jha spells out that stand.
चिट्ठी में कोई दम नहीं है. जितनी घटनाएं हो रही हैं सब पर कानूनी कार्रवाई हो रही है और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक बार नहीं दो बार इस पर कहा है कि ऐसी घटनाएं देश में मुझे दुखी करती है, नहीं होना चाहिए और कार्रवाई हो रही है.
The letter was apparently written 2 weeks ago. That it was sent to the Prime Minister on a day that Parliament was debating the exact same issues was, they say, mere coincidence. But what happens next? What if the Prime Minister doesn't respond? Aparna Sen's response? Sometimes it's a betrayal to not speak up. In Kolkata with G.D. Shankar, Monadeepa Banerjee, NDTV.
Well, I spoke to Aparna Sen earlier on this story. Aparna Sen, thank you so much for joining us on NDTV today. What exactly made all of you write this letter at this particular time? Was there an immediate trigger for it?
There was no immediate trigger. You know, it had been happening for a long time, actually. Every time you open the newspapers, every time you switch on the TV, every time you open your WhatsApp or your Facebook, you're coming across these. Some of it I'm sure is fake, but then there are times when, you know, these people who are lynching, they themselves take the videos and post it. I mean, they've become so, I mean, they do it with so much impunity that it is frightening. And when the Prime Minister criticized it on the floor of the Parliament, we were all very happy. But now we are asking him to come down hard on the state governments and make it a non-bailable, to get them to make it a non-bailable offence. Otherwise, these people, you know, they feel that there is a tacit approval from the ruling party, which I'm sure there is not. But that is what they will get to feel. That's the problem.
Well, you know, as you said, you want the Prime Minister to intervene. Now, you know, the BJP argues, his supporters argue that he has intervened. He's spoken in Parliament as well about this. You clearly feel that this has been inadequate. But what more would you like him to do personally on something like this?
Well, I can't decide to speak with him personally on my own. There are a whole lot of other people. If he grants us an audience and if the other people are ready to go, then I can go. But that's not the point. We also wanted people, and I'm sure the Prime Minister would be happy about it, we also wanted people to realize that these people are getting away with lynching and that some people who are concerned citizens are objecting to this and are asking the Prime Minister to intervene. So I would imagine, rather than, you know, being sort of labeled anti-national or anti or urban Naxal or whatever it is that people have been calling us on other channels, that they should be, why are they so angry? Why aren't they happy that we've done it? Why aren't they happy that, at least some people have drawn attention to it and maybe it'll stop?
Well,
it's important to draw attention to this in the public domain.
Well, your critics though, and many of them are supporters of the ruling party, say that this is hypocrisy by all of you. You all don't write letters when Hindus are targeted and that this is all politics. What would you say to them?
This is total nonsense, I've written in my editorials about the atrocities on the Kashmiri Pandits. I have done that myself as an editor. So, I mean, let them speak. These are the, Nidhi, these are the stock responses. And these are the whatabouteries, constantly. And what about that time? What about this time? Why don't you concentrate on now, what's happening now? And why don't you laud us for it instead of criticizing us? Why don't you laud us for drawing attention to it? Because I'm sure that these people in the BJP, in the ruling party, Mr. Modi, none of them want these lynchings to happen. So if they don't want it to happen, they should laud us rather than be angry with us.
Well, you've also said that criticizing the ruling party does not mean criticizing the nation, that people should not be branded anti-national and urban Naxal, as you were saying just earlier. But isn't that the most fundamental problem today, the way people are labelled just for raising a question?
Yes, I think it's very, 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 it's a very important thing. It had happened also before in West Bengal. And it's happened even now, even continuing now in West Bengal. I'm not saying that the other states and all that are exempt from this. I mean, I remember the time when the CPM was in power, and there was this, we used to call it Ora Amra, but either it's them or it's us. Even in the Mamata government, either it's them or it's us. I am not with any party, frankly, Nidhi. I will probably be stoned for it, but I don't trust any politicians at all. I trust the goodness of people, human goodness, human kindness, and I think that by writing this letter, we have drawn attention to the fact that there are some people in the country, senior people, people who were born, some of them, before the partition of India, before the independence of India, who have come forward and expressed concern. And I think that's something that should be taken into account, and people should. See, dissent is very, very important in a healthy democracy, as everybody knows. There should be sane debate. Otherwise, I have a very, very strong objection, like Tagore, to the word nationalism. What is this anti-national business? What is anti-national? I mean, you cannot speak out against the wrongs in your country. If you do that, you're going to be branded anti-national, or urban Naxal, or Tukre gang, or whatever. I mean, there's so many things. I was just called urban Naxal just now on a television channel. I mean, I'm just aghast.
No.
I'm completely aghast at this.
Sorry, I was just going to ask you another question. Go ahead, ma'am.
No. I was simply expressing my complete amazement at this. And because any ruling party, not just the BJP, any ruling party in any country is not synonymous with that country. So criticizing the ruling party, if that is done, which by the way we haven't done, we have just appealed to the ruling party, even if one were to criticize, then one should not be branded anti-national, because we're not saying anything against the nation. The dissenters are saying something against the ruling party, which doesn't mean that they're saying anything against the nation, isn't it?
Well, finally, Aparna Sen, the next battleground, the big battleground, is going to be Bengal itself, which has become so deeply polarized. And, many believe that Mamata Banerjee is actually playing into the BJP's hands with her brand of politics, which goes to the other extreme. And so on the ground, you actually have these two extremities that are playing out. That can't be very good for the political situation there.
Yeah, they are being played out. In fact, we are all very disappointed. Personally, I have been to Bhatpara and Kakinada and some of our our friends have been to Kakinada, and we have seen what havoc has been wreaked there, and we've written to the Chief Minister, she's replied, and then we've gone back to see what has been done, whether the promises that were made are kept. So we are trying to be as vigilant as we can even here.
All right. Well, Aparna Sen, thanks very much for joining us tonight to give us your perspective on that letter written by you and 48 others to the Prime Minister. Let's hope someone is listening. Thanks very much.